You must know where you want to reach, otherwise you might not even reach there. Ways of getting into Blackie. Welcome to our series, and today we are going to discuss how to get into IIM Calcutta, because there is not just one way. Let me elaborate on the courses that are offered here, the eligibility and various other details, so that you can make an informed decision on whether you are eligible for that or not, and if you are, how you can get into it. If you need further details, feel free to reach out to us. Put your question in the comment section so that we can answer.
To book a free one-on-one MBA counseling online or at any IMS center, check out the link in the description box or the pinned comment below.
Let's start with the flagship way. Very interesting one, the PGP MBA way. Again, the same thing for which people take CAT. Similar to what we discussed in the ways to get into IIM Ahmedabad and Bangalore. If you have not watched those videos, definitely check those out. This is again for fresh graduates and moderately experienced people who are aiming at leadership roles. Again, within the cohort, there will be more number of people who are experienced and fewer people will be the fresh graduates. Somewhere the ratio would be 70:30, but it can slightly change. It will still, of course, be skewed in the favor of slightly experienced professionals. If I talk about the basics, you should have good 10th and 12th class score. Graduation is not considered. So here, your graduation sins are pardoned. But IIM Calcutta thought that no, I'm not going to fully pardon them. I'm going to pardon them on the basis of their score. But I will still judge you on your graduation in terms of the academic discipline. So the discipline definitely gets some marks. Let's say if you have engineering, or if you have BBA, or if you have done, let's say MBBS, the discipline will award different marks to you. But that's just the academic discipline only. Doesn't matter whether you have gotten 60%, 70%, 80% or whatnot. So, take it with a pinch of salt. Academic diversity at graduation, of course, that is what we talked about, and you should have moderate work experience. It also works well in your favor. They really value work experience people, but only the moderately work experience people. So for them, there is, a way where the score for work experience will be the highest, somewhere around 36 months or so, and then it will start to taper down. In case of A or B, it remains constant after a particular period of time. So different ways of getting into it. That's why we call it the Holy Trinity. And think about the people who make it to all three. They must be in that some form of sweet spot, right? Let's take a look at the flow. You will apply, definitely. You will take the aptitude test and you will get a short list. Followed by that, you will go for the PI round and you will get the final list. What's the profile like? The interview of IIM Calcutta is wonderful. You never know how they are going to judge you, but you will definitely know whether you have failed or you have not failed, because it sort of is reflected in their demeanor. At least I was able to understand that. Some people do, some people are not able to do that. It's not like they are going to explicitly tell you, but you will automatically recognize, because either your interview will be really good or it will be bad. There is nothing in between. There is a thing which is known about IIM Calcutta interview, is that they will ask you at least one mathematical question. Again, it's a norm. They might change it, but generally it happens. On only one mathematical question, that's all. If I talk about profile, it has to be holistic. If you have done some professional course, or if you have some work experience, if you have demonstrated excellence in variety of ways, it is a great chance for you to be part of this wonderful institution. In the first shortlist, in fact, they have given the criteria for 85% of the content out of the 100%. So what they do of that 15%, that is not mentioned anywhere. And nobody knows about that also. So better is that if you have a better profile, it works well in your favor. If I talk about the exam that is required, CAT, of course, for Indians, and non-Indians or the Indians that are currently not living in India, GMAT. They will accept the GMAT score only of the last 1 year. Not 3 years, not 5 years, nothing like that. So if anybody is applying through GMAT, and not just for IIM Calcutta, but for IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore or other colleges, do check the GMAT eligibility. In all the cases, let me tell you, you will have to submit the score to the authority. You cannot straight away show up with your GMAT score that this is what I got. It must come through the authority. There are ways to do that. not a place for discussion right now, but feel free to reach out to us if that is the way you want to take. High cutoff requirement in both the cases, 99 percentile or more, and sectional cutoff is also there in case of GMAT also 735 plus. Of course, it changes slightly whether you're talking about the focused edition or the old edition, but only the test center based scores will be considered, not the online home GMAT scores, right? So that's a straight no-no from all these top B schools. Let's talk about the second program. This is again a 2-year program, another very, very sought after program in IIM Calcutta called PGDBA. Diploma in Business Analytics, PG Diploma in Business Analytics. As I told in the IIM Bangalore video, one should opt for Business Analytics program only and only if one is fully convinced of working with a lot of data, because this is what you will be doing during the MBA and this is what you will be expected to do after MBA in your jobs. So people again who want to build a skill in analytics, who want to do a lot of big data churning, come up with database decision making and so on, for them it is a wonderful thing and it's a wonderful program, definitely. Again, if I talk about the basics here, 10th score is not considered, 12th definitely is considered. Graduation CGPA should be more than 6.5 in this case. In other cases, it is 50% for general candidates and 45% for SC/ST PWD candidates. And you do not get into this program through CAT at all. They have a specific test for it. We'll talk about that. Work experience is a plus here, but it's not mandatory. And this is a program which is offered by IIM Calcutta, IIT Kharagpur and Indian Statistical Institute. So it's a collaborative program. If in fact you want to get into a collaborative program, IIM Calcutta is the best place to do that. And they offer not just one but 2 such programs, and we'll talk about that other program also. Wonderful. The flow: apply, take the aptitude test, get the shortlist, go for PI, and finally you will make it to the final list. In case of profile, again, it has to be holistic, definitely. If you have some form of inclination or some form of work experience towards business analytics domain, it is a plus. And finally, the exam that you will be taking is PGDBA computer-based test only. For this, you apply in February. It is a competitive test. You can check that on their website and in general on other blog posts also. So you will have to prepare for it rigorously. But if you are anyway willing to go into business analytics, it's great, isn't it? So this test is slightly more specific in nature in terms of the sections. I'm not going to go into the depth of it right now, but later if the need be, you can post that in the comment section and I would be happy to explain the specifics of the course. Let's talk about this one. Third, the executive way. It's a 1-year program, MBA EX, MBA Executive. Again, for the highly experienced people who want to get into leadership roles. The basics are 10th and 12th is not considered and you should have more than or equal to 5 years of work experience. In reality, the cohort is made up of 7, 8, 9, 10 years of work experience as well. If you look at the batch profile, you will see more number of people who are falling in this bucket. SOP LORs are required. Again, there are 3 rounds for it. Better is that you apply early. 3 rounds are July, August and October. July, August are very close basically. So it's like a continuum. The flow is you will apply, you will get a short list, you will go for PI and you will get the final list. Profile, very simple, the same thing. Majorly work experience, you must have some form of leadership experience. It is a good idea. And finally the exam, GMAT. GMAT only. Last 3 years, not 5. Again, I'm telling you this thing. If you are applying through non-Indian exams for any of the Indian programs, please do check the specific eligibility. Most of the times people think GMAT is applicable for 5 years. Not necessarily. Let's go for the next one. This is another blended program of IIM Calcutta. Wonderful. Visionary Leadership in Manufacturing. VLM. It's a 2-year PGP executive program, and because it is visionary leadership in manufacturing, now you will see something wonderful here. It is to create techno-managerial leaders. And who will be techno-managerial leaders? Who will have some form of technical experience, which means you must have engineering or equivalent undergraduate degree or a master's degree if you have already done it. Otherwise, you are not even eligible to be part of it. This is offered by IIM Calcutta, IIT Madras and IIT Kanpur if I talk about institutions. And if I talk about the bodies, then there is a confederation body in Japan, which is also part of it, along with 2 Indian government bodies. And that's why there is a 1-week industry visit in Japan under the aegis of that particular body. You must have minimum 4.5 years of work experience for it. Otherwise, you are not eligible. More the experience, better it is. So people who are already in the manufacturing sector, they generally go for it. The flow is, you will submit your application. It happens between September and November. Right now, not a lot of details are given on the website. When the application submission time is up, then they are going to provide those details. You will get a shortlist. You will have to submit SOP, letter of recommendation. You will go through PI, and finally, you will have the final call. If I talk about the profile, understand this thing carefully. Your profile should be highly engineering focused. You must have done some form of work. Your minimum 4.5 years of experience in graduation, and if that is in some form of manufacturing sector, operations sector, analytical sector, which is aimed at engineering, leadership roles included in it, and so on. Wonderful, wonderful. Without any effort as such, you may make it to this particular program. And you spend your time in various institutes. The exam, there is an aptitude test, and that is a must-have aptitude test. This is an aptitude test specifically for it. In this aptitude test, there are 3 parts. One is the analytical ability, which they check. Then verbal ability also they are checking, which is similar to all other aptitude exams which are there for MBA. But here there is an engineering aptitude exam also section, which is part of their aptitude test. They have not given any sort of syllabus, but they say that general understanding of engineering concepts is all right. So if you really want to get into that, let us know. We'll try to help you out with what sort of preparation you can do. If you want to go through GMAT, it is an optional thing. Now, when I say optional, it means that if you add your GMAT score, it can add value to your profile, but it is not a replacement of this aptitude test. This is something that you must take. Wonderful, wonderful program. So if you want to get into any of these, start your preparation right now. And if we are of any help, feel free to reach out to us, because IIM Calcutta is something that you really want to be part of. Not just for the studies, but for the 7 lakes that are there. It's a wonderful place to be in.